Hi! Today we're going to talk about some nuts.
Some nuts. Not just any nuts.
These nuts.
Cashews that have been roasted and soaked for overnight. And hazelnuts that have also been roasted. Are these roasted or are these raw?
They're raw.
Raw almonds.
Raw almonds.
Because that's really only one of two raw things that we have here. Because these are toasted or roasted pistachios. And then pumpkin seeds, those are the other raw ones.
Pepitas.
Pepitas. I hate that word.
Me too.
But it kind of is useful sometimes. Vanilla bean and pecans. And I soaked the bean too.
Soaked them together.
Yeah. Macadamia, also roasted. And if you can't find nuts that are unsalted, I recommend putting it in a sieve and just rinsing it in really cold water to get rid of some of the salt. Because that's what happened with those. And then roasted peanuts, which hopefully is good because we've never tried it. Woo! Peanut milk isn't common, even though peanuts are. And then dates, just sweeten the pot.
We pitted the dates.
Yeah.
Because they were not.
I'm gonna eat this one too. And why is it that we use dates again? Didn't you read about what kind of sugars?
Oh, it was just easier to break down.
Oh, okay.
You could always use agave or honey.
You don't really need to use like anything, right? It's just if you want to prolong the life of it.
Yeah, it's a good preserver.
Because it's like all sugar.
And it's delicious.
It is.
And if you don't want to use sweetener, by all means, you can make something savory.
That's right.
The times vary for soaking.
You should always soak your nuts.
Yeah, because the reason that you need to soak them is because they actually have enzyme inhibitors on them, which is basically something of an anti-nutrient. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw that word.
Yes,
We're
we
doing
do.
research. It's kind of just to get away from that and make it easier to digest, but also obviously to soften them up and make them easier to milk so you get a lot more out of them.
Exactly. We're used to make these nuts.
We have some very special tools here.
Woo!
Mainly a high-speed blender. You can use a regular blender. It will just take longer.
But it's doable. I did it at work once in the office.
She did, and it was really delicious.
It was really good.
very, very
It was
creamy.
awkward because people didn't know that you could just make nut milk anywhere.
We used paper towels.
Exactly.
I almost forgot about that part. I'm getting so nostalgic right now. This happened long. Instead of paper towels, you can use a nut milk bag, and this is the best one I've gotten so far because it kind of has rounded edges, which helps keep it clean. And we actually have it inside out. It makes it easier to clean because everything's not gripping to the lining.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
So we have that one that is rounded.
That's a good tip. I got this at an aquarium store. For just saltwater fish, I'm sure you could get it at maybe like a pet store. I'm not 100% sure, but
You always
just
ask
get
them online as well.
And not
It's just a
expensive.
nylon bag.
And it's worth your while. They're easy to clean for the most part, and they do last a long time. I haven't
Absolutely.
thrown one away yet. We milk nuts
All the
a
time.
lot, and that's why we want to show you how easy it is to do it in the comfort of your home.
This one's not rounded at the corners, but that's completely fine.
That's just a slight
It's just,
convenience.
really, you can just knock it out of the corners. And then we have a larger one.
I love that one.
Larger one. This is nice because sometimes we like to make it in bulk, keep it in the fridge for like 3 days or so. Just inside out over a bowl. Strain your nut milk into it.
I like it.
We don't have a cheesecloth with us, but absolutely you can use it. I don't really like using it personally because it's a little bit messy.
It does work.
Absolutely.
I've used it as well, and I had to. There's nothing wrong with it. You can also use a sieve or sieve. I've heard it both ways. Hopefully it will become shapely again. And then there are also additives that you can put in when you're milking the nuts that are going to help preserve it. So if you're not going to drink it right away, or you can even do this just to add flavor. It adds a lot of really good flavor. They have salt and dates. Yeah, there's salt in that teacup.
No big deal.
And water,
Some
obviously.
fresh filtered water. We like to use cold water.
We're also gonna get a bigger bowl here because trying to get a bigger one, bigger than the bag, unless you can at least drape the bag around it because that is kind of cool. So this is actually a little
Small. That's
That's
completely
okay.
fine.
I still would actually roll up the corners.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it get in there
A
a
lot
lot more
easier.
easily. And we've got some nut milk here that we just barely blended.
So we added a date and a pinch of salt into.
Yeah.
That is thickety thick.
That's really thick. Let's thin it down a little bit.
So typically it is a 1-to-2 ratio, 1 being the nut and then 2 being the actual filtered water. Sometimes you can make it thicker and make like a cream or different coffee.
Ooh, that sounds delicious actually. Especially macadamia. That would be good.
But we
didn't.
didn't add enough water, so
We didn't. That's okay. It's forgiving. Try not to add too much, but if you don't get enough, add.
All right. Nice. And you can see the consistency.
Consistency.
I was trying to think of the right
It's a
word.
little bit thicker, but that's okay. You're gonna strain it out of all of its nut meal and just pour it right into the strainer.
Ooh,
It's okay if you get messy. Chunks never hurt anyone.
that's right. When you're not trying to make it look cool, it's easier to pour it. So don't worry.
All right, and then you just unfold the corners.
Back up. We even have a nice little, so you can make sure that stuff isn't falling out.
Easy peasy. Absolutely be sure you wash your hands.
Yeah, don't be gross.
Don't be a sick freak.
Yeah, your hands will get messy. It's kind of awesome. It's part of the experience. So
That's okay.
Don't be a
You're
prick.
touching your food, and that's okay.
if it's your food, it's all right.
If you're manhandling someone else's food, wear some gloves. That is okay.
And something else that's good to think about for future reference to this video is that we're actually gonna boil the milk slightly later on, so don't worry about too many germs because you're gonna boil them out. I mean, obviously be clean, but you know. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
swirling the milk.
Swirl it up. All right, so we are going to heat this up on the stove. Meet you over at the stove. Beep. All right.
Welcome to Emerald City.
Yeah.
Emerald Shitty. Do you want to get the shot?
Yeah.
And I'll try and make it look good. Ew, I can't even handle anymore. You sounded like Pinocchio. Okay. I tried to do the swirl from this angle. It doesn't work. Okay. Ooh, baby.
Pour it all in.
Ooh. Splash it around a little bit.
Yeah.
That's good for
That's
you.
completely fine.
Don't even worry about it.
So we're
And
just
then-
gonna heat it up. High heat?
What'd you say?
Would it scorch?
Yeah, let's do like a
Medium, high. Yeah.
6 out of 8.
6 out of 8.
I like how I don't
Sounds
have
great.
a 6 when I say that.
Bring it to a boil, shut off the heat, and then we will put it in a pitcher to cool at room temperature. But we'll get to that. See you when it boils. Alright, so we're here. We got it boiling. It's super thick and creamy, but that's just natural. Ooh, a little bit of steam on the camera lens. Alright, we cut off the heat. We're just gonna pour it in a pitcher and let it sit room temperature till it cools down, and then we'll put it in the fridge. And that should actually stop your almond milk or any of your nut milks from separating for a few days.